All right, fellas, a little tiny bit late to this one, but we are summoning 4 LR Tech UI Goku. So I am very happy to say that I was big time wrong on this one. I really thought they could introduce Tech UI Goku possibly during like the November-ish time slot where Super Dragon Ball Heroes is going on and it's not really the biggest celebration ever. That's really where I thought they were going to place him, but instead they said, hey, I know you just had 4 back-to-back, count them, by the way, count them, 4 back-to-back LRs, but hey, we're going to go ahead and drop them now. So, I think the thing about it is, like, I think you can look at it one of two ways, and I think both things can be true at the same time. So I think the first way you kind of look at this is, okay, you know, booyah, he's in the game, you know, we don't have to wait for him. And he's not in limbo because guaranteed, until he came out on Global, people would be asking, where's Tech UI Goku? Where's Tech UI Goku? Everyone would be screaming on social media, where's Tech UI Goku? And y'all know it's true. If y'all are one of those people, let me know in the comments below, because I cherish you. So the other perspective here, as I said, is it's good that he's in the game. And it just really sucks, because everyone's drained of stones, right? So I think, again, both things can be true. They really said, hey, if you want this guy, break out your wallet. That is literally what they told you. When they said, hey, we're dropping a 5th LR in a month, that's what they told you. I'm sorry. 10 featured unit banners. The main featured unit, you have to get exceptionally lucky on any given multi to pull this unit. And again, you got to do that for 5 banners in a row. Granted, you know, the first round of banners had some very, very good value. Of course, you know, we know the 7-step sort of program, if you will, where we got the guaranteed featured on the 7th step of the step up. So it just, again, I think that it's just very obvious to see that, like, both things are true. You know, they did drop these tickets. The tickets were not, would I call them like affordable? I don't know if I'd call them that. I'm not a huge fan of these 7-unit multis. It kind of lessens your chance for a featured unit. Yeah, you're getting a guaranteed SSR, but let's kind of think about it here. So guaranteed, when you're talking about the guaranteed SSR slot, there is a 95% chance that you are getting an unfeatured unit. There's only that 5% chance that you get a featured unit in the last slot. So that being said, you only have 6 chances to get a featured unit, essentially, right? I mean, that's not exactly true, but that, I mean, basically. But if you take that and you compare that to a 10-unit multi, of course, you have 9 chances to get a featured unit. So, again, you look at it from that way. I mean, I guess that's maybe the cynical way to look at it. On the other hand, it's like you're getting 77 units, essentially, and here is a featured unit incoming, unless it's a very slim probability that it's 3 SSRs. I mean, it could happen. I mean, crazier things have happened for sure. So, yeah, see, and there you go, a God animation. So, we're getting 3 SSRs in this 7-unit multi. Again, it can happen. And, of course, one of them has to be this guy. Now, this has to be the absolute just stinker of the banner, man. LR, Gohan, and Goten. I have been a very, very big fan of them since they came out. I really do. Like, I like LR, Gohan, and Goten. They really had their time to shine. Their EZA, it was good for, I don't know, about 10 minutes. Just the only issue being is they have no defensive mechanics. Unfortunately, they got their EZA and they were damn near dead on arrival. They have no dodge, no damage reduction, dude. It's a death sentence. Oh, and I don't even think, they don't have guard in their kit either. I mean, it's just an absolute death sentence. Unless somehow there's some monster support unit that comes out, you know, for the siblings bond team or something. Some monster support unit that's providing a unit damage reduction. Like, maybe they could be good against an AGL enemy, but unfortunately we're just looking at their super EZA. the next time that they will be viable. Obviously, they can still be useful in something like, you know, the Dokkan Virtual Ultimate Clash, you know, aka Battlefield. They could be good in there. But again, I'm not gonna split hairs with you, man. They are not they're not good in the current meta of the game, unfortunately. So the tickets are dwindling here. We are down to 3 more multis, and again, these have been very lackluster tickets. My goal here was to pull, well, I mean, you want to say 5 copies. Sure, 5 copies of TEQ UI. But really the goal, like, if you can pull, how about we say if you can pull 1 new unit from the tickets, I feel like you're doing all right. And actually, of all units to pull that aren't named TEQ LRUI Goku, he is the one I'd want to pull. I actually do not have him rainbowed. This is, of course, his return on a banner, right? This is his first return on this TEQ UI Goku banner. And I really hope that people see, you know, his merit. He is a very, very powerful unit. Particularly, you get a dupe in him, or 2, and you all of a sudden can start critting on all these humongous attack stats and all these normals. I think you guys are really going to see that he is a very effective unit. And his defensive levels are not bad. They are not bad. You know, he has guard and damage reduction, so that is a really, really good thing that he has, right? So I do love that Fizz Rose unit. He is a very, very, like, a flashy sort of unit, you know, just tons and tons and tons of damage. So I really, really do like him. I believe at his peak, he could potentially super attack 9 times, which is, of course, just absurd. Now, the odds of that happening got to be less than 1%. Because they're all, like, rare chances to hit, basically. But it could happen. I've never seen it happen, but shoot, man, if you get 5 of them to hit, I mean, you're absolutely winning. So speaking of winning, over here on Global Dokkan, we get steps. We get a step-up banner. So this is pretty nice. So basically the way the steps were, or, well, still are if you haven't summoned on it yet. The steps are, I believe it's 30... 35 and 45 to equal 110 stones per rotation, plus a free multi, and we get that 3 times. Obviously, that's, you know, better than no discounts at all. I really, really think it would have been a good idea for Dokkan, just considering what we talked about in the beginning of the video, and just like everyone is tapped on stones. Even whales. I mean, listen, I mean, unless you're like Brother Russia or Goresh, like, you're tapped on stones, bro. I mean, you are. You're going for 1 copy of this guy. I mean, probably. Right? Hopefully there's a quick turnaround and he comes back fairly quickly. Hopefully, like, we will get a thank you banner. I really hope we actually get that on Global Dokkan. And potentially we could pick him up with coins. That would be so sick. I mean, I don't know how likely that is, but I mean, you never know. You never know. You never know. So remember, historically speaking, the Tanabata LR takes forever to come back on JP. It basically takes like 7-8 months for him to come back. Unfortunately, I do think that is going to be TEQ UI Goku's fate. It just is what it is, man. Again, if we're talking about global syncing up with JP, these are the kind of things that you're going to need to keep in mind. So the Tanabata LR, it comes out in June. Yeah, June. The beginning of... No, the end of June, right before Global's anniversary, because remember that first week is always terrible for Global players because it's the return of the anniversary LRs on JP, plus this badass Tanabata LR, right? And in this case, it was TEQ UI Goku. The last 2 weeks of June, historically, are literally like hell. It's like, this is what hell is like for a Global Dokkan player, right? There's no content. And then you're watching JP just absolutely just fucking win. And we just keep losing and losing and losing and losing. But anyway, we are hopefully going to be able to move beyond that. As we know at this point, the sync, right? So this was a very big step towards the sync. So I mentioned this, actually it was in my last couple of videos. I talked a bit about the sync. And essentially they hadn't done nearly anything. In terms of, I mean, how do I say it? Like, they've done some things, right? Like, they have done a couple of world tournaments. There have been a couple of EZAs, a couple of events that they have dropped. But until this celebration, they had done next to nothing in terms of like the sync, right? So I had a big time problem with the way that they had handled it. And I don't think that is a hot take. Like, that is not hot take theater at all. That is, I think, just that's the ice cold take. So again, this was a humongous step. Now, of course, the question being is, all right, so where are they going to drop Topo? And I think the answer is they're going to drop Topo very, very, very soon. I think that it's going to be a very, very... Oh my god, get the fuck off my screen. Oh, I hate that unit so badly. I hate him so much. So much. Not only did he age out in 5 minutes, I've pulled him. I officially, after my TEQ UI summons, I officially have him all three, as Toon Rami would say, all three lineages rainbowed. So I have the LR, TUR, and SSR rainbowed. That is no cap. I will show you a screenshot. Anyway, before we were rudely interrupted by this garbage, yeah, I think Topo, he's going to be coming very, very soon to Global Dokkan. I think the banners are just going to be non-stop. So, global players, this is the time. You need to be a bit more conservative. Even you whales out there, I know how this is, man. Trust me, your boy gets it. This is a collection game. But I think until the games are synced and we can all just be on the same schedule, I think it's going to be a very, very smart idea to sort of, you know, really try to budget your stones here. Pick up one copy of the units and just call it good. Like, literally call it good. So we're going to probably have Topo. Remember, also, I think right after that, we're going to get Carnival Jiren. And then guess what? Right after that is going to be the Worldwide Download Celebration. So this is all going to be happening in the span of this month. We're going to get probably 2 more. Let's see, we already have Topo's Part 2 LR, right? We already have the Ginyu Force. But we are going to get, let's see, we're going to get Topo, we're going to get Jiren, and we're probably going to get Cell Max. Now, Cell Max, I think, is a bit more of a question mark, but it makes sense that they would drop him, you know, relatively soon, considering we just got all the super bosses stuff. I suppose it's possible he's the one that they put off for a long time, because he is just like kind of a whatever. He's not a whatever yellow coin LR. He's really good. But the fact remains he is a yellow coin LR. So I think they're probably going to prioritize the other banners, in my opinion. You know, Dokkan Fests are the, you know, bread and butter of the game for sure. So we are closing in here actually on the end of the video. We are almost to the final step, unfortunately, before we are done with the step-ups, right? So this is very, very unfortunate. At the time when I was summoning, I didn't know it was going to be only 3 rounds, although I sort of suspected. But I thought that we were going to just be able to keep going with the, at least make it kind of like the LR yellow coin banners, where you can, the step-ups last for like, what is it? Isn't it like 21 steps or something crazy? You can actually, you know, pull for the unit. So, but guys, I really think, you know, kind of circling back to my previous point to put a bow on it, is really, you know, try to stifle yourself a little bit. I think it's going to be very, very important moving forward. Yeah, if you got lucky on UI and you get him, that's great. I do think you really do want a copy of him. His banner is going to be around for a little while longer, so, you know, wait till more content drops. I mean, it's going to be up. Remember, this is a Dokkan Fest LR. They're not going to drop his banner for a week and take it away, right? He's going to be around for a little while, so you have time. You have time, right, to try to summon him. And I do think it is a good idea to get a copy. I'd rather have a copy of him than Topo. I mean, quite frankly. The special pose team at this point, unfortunately on JP at least, and remember, we're almost caught up. We're getting, I don't want to say we're almost. We're getting closer to the sync and being fully caught up, right, to JP. So just remember, man, the special pose team is really not viable against that Goku and Frieza fight. Yeah, they're good against other opponents for sure, but just keep this in mind, right? Like, you don't need to really summon for Topo. I think he's one that you can kind of come back to. There is this asshole, right? I was really starting to get scared. So that was legitimately, I believe that was on the free multi, if I'm not mistaken, of the final step. And yes, it indeed was. So guys, we end up pulling a copy of TEQ UI Goku. Let me know how your summons went in the comments below. Slap a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you in the next one. Later!